What's up, everybody? Welcome to Make It Make Sense with Auntie. Fortunately, Auntie is a little late today. She'll be on in a few minutes. Um, this is yours truly, Mr. Show Out from Smooth Transition Design LLC. You know, Auntie's co-host. Well, just let y'all know what I got going on at the beginning of the show. As y'all know, I am the cartoon man that's behind all Auntie's design, as well as if you have a birthday and you're on part of subscribe to BFAM Make It Make Sense or BFAM. We give you a shout out, and those cartoons that DC put on his page are designed by me. Most of them, you know, he'll let you know which ones are designed by Smooth Transition Design, as well as me working on things with Auntie for this her webinar, her books that she has coming out that's going to help the youth, and those, with financial literacy and, well-being of the world, as well as me working on, my shop, Auntie's shop, our clothing apparel, as well as some cartoons that I'm working on as well. So, first thing first, we ain't really got a topic for today, man. Auntie decided on just talking about a lot of current events because there have been a lot of things in the world today that have been going on, and we figured that, why not address some of the things that have been going on. A lot of people don't know about a certain things. One of the things that we're going to be addressing is that school shooting at Appalachia. I want to make sure I'm saying that Appalachia, that I'm saying it right. But we're going to talk about that as well as another school shooting that happened. With our youth. Youth our biggest thing. We make it make sense, and we do our best and try to build up our young youth. As well as teach the young youth that are bringing up other young youth. Those who have kids that's still young themselves. We're making sure that they have the knowledge, the resources, and the know-how to be able to go out there and make a difference in the world. So, like I said, Auntie is a little late. She'll be on here in a minute and everything. So let's go ahead and start talking about this Appalachia situation. A lot of people probably don't know that in Appalachia there was a school shooting where a teen shot four, killed four, and injured maybe nine. And from the look of things, that the father has been indicted as well, has been arrested as well for the situation that happened at hand, which is kind of cruel. He kind of knew that his son was, I could say, had some type of mental issue for this thinking of All right, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. Had a little technical difficulties. Trying to get Auntie on here so we can, if I get kicked off again, that way she can take over. 'Cause I don't want to hear no dead silence. I know y'all don't want to hear dead silence, but we're back. But back to the thing at hand. We want to make sure that everybody is aware that we have to make sure we pay attention to our kids. Nowadays, our kids are in a position where they're starting to think for themselves. Some are not even thinking for themselves. Some of them are being influenced by social media, being influenced by friends, being influenced by other stuff that we're not teaching them. We need to start like literally teaching our kids about, the dangers in this world, for this, actions, being accountable for anything and everything that they do in this world. And we got to make sure that we're accountable for the things too. That's why that the father got arrested, due to the fact he didn't take accountability for his son's actions, which he could have probably helped prevent it. The grandfather as well. I think if you know anything about it, you should have came forward. The mother tried to come forward, and everybody that knew about it kind of come forward, but they really didn't resolve the issue because the action was still displayed. Hey, Auntie, there she go. There you go. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah. Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Mr. Show, I got it started. Got a lot going on today dealing with lifing. But you can go ahead and finish. I'm here. I'm sitting by just listening.
I was talking about the school shooting in Appalachia. Trying to get
Right.
talking about how us as parents need to take accountability for what our kids do and everything, because it's a lot of things that probably could have been prevented. One of the reasons why the father got arrested was because he didn't take accountability and of what he had in the house. Not being aware of his son's well-being
No,
and the
no, no.
things
Let me
around
stop you.
him.
Hold on. Let me stop you. Okay, so we're not going to say that because that's not true. He was aware. He was well aware of what his son had
Right,
going on. He provided his son with the weapons. He went and purchased his son an AR-15 last year. He literally knew he was there's even like right now that they're taking into accountability a video that he did where the son actually did his first hunt, and on the first hunt he killed on the first shot, and he was able to kill a deer with the first shot in the dad. It was glorifying how well of a shot he was, how good he was for this. So the daddy is very much an active participant in what took place.
right, and that's the reason why he's getting how he's arrested, because of the accountability that he should have had. He should have been there to understand what his child was going was finna get ready to do. I think the grandfather said something about it, didn't he? Also,
The grandfather spoke out about it. The grandfather blames the father because he says of the lack of responsibility, which is basically what's happening. As far as the mother as well was actually the mother actually was the one who contacted the school prior to the shooting to let them know that there was going to be a shooting. Well, not that there was going to be a shooting. She actually contacted the school because her son had sent a text message to her telling her that he was sorry. And when he sent that message to her, it made her, she realized something was going on. So she did try to notify the school the first time in regards. And from what I'm getting, I do have, there is, I'm saying it's still coming in because it's only been a week since this shooting did take place. But when I was reading up on it, there was actually a student that spoke out and said that prior to the shooting that took place, a student was actually taken from class and questioned, but apparently that student was the wrong student. So, they kind of dropped the ball. If that's what actually happened, they're looking more into it to see about that being released, as well as with the mama calling the school. She called and told them And apparently the other student kind of favors the student that actually did the shooting, but we're still waiting to verify that that's all that took place. But it was another student that did speak out and say that somebody did come in, and from the account, it was also said that the student that was taken from the classroom came back into the classroom and told the young lady that they weren't looking for me, they were looking for the student that sits next to you. So it was, so it feels as if, it was some balls dropped somewhere in this process. And, in light of, not in light of that shooting, because we are steady losing children, losing lives, losing parents, guardians, people that we are continuing to lose. That what scary about this is because this young man decided to do this shooting, and in the last week we've here in Florida had 5 shootings called in. We've had 2-3 arrests that have been made in the state of Florida on behalf of children that decided they was going to go to school and either call in a shooting or actively go in and shoot. And we want to send our condolences to everyone that has lost their life. We want to actually send prayers to those that are that was injured in the school shootings. We want to send prayers to those and their mindsets for those children that had to endure those school shootings. Because what we don't talk about, and Auntie talk about it all the time, we don't speak about is how are these situations actually affecting our children. We hear the parents talk about the outrage that they are feeling. We hear about all that stuff, but how did you sit down and speak to your child in with everything that's going on with these school shootings? Because you have to wonder about the child's mindset when they look at the news and see that somebody went to a school and unalive classmates, friends, for whatever the reason, and then we want our children to get up and go to school where they want to feel safe. I do want to commend I also read that in Appalachia, they did have, at that particular school, they did initiate a new program that they are trying out, which I feel is a wonderful idea, where it comes with like badges that the teachers actually wear, that the staff wears. The badge itself has the capability to contact the police or paramedics in the event of something going on. So again, with those badges that they were speaking to, that's kind of some of the reason why we had a quickly response with the police department, because of the fact that they did initiate these badges here in Jacksonville as well. I'm pretty sure, I think that there was an incident here in Jacksonville. So like I said, we want to keep our children in our prayers. The world is very, very corrupt. If you pay attention to what's going on, we see that we are losing our children, and losing them, we are losing them physically, mentally, and even spiritually. And like we say, if you don't know, a spiritual attack on yourself, they will attack your children, and destroy your kids. And we've gotten to a place which is sad, that in 2024 in the world, I'm not going to just speak of in the United States, I'm not going to speak of just Florida, I'm not going to speak on just Georgia. It's sad that we are in a world of where we grew up hearing that the children are our future, and now that we've gotten to the future, the children that have grown up to become this future have either decided against that, or they have picked up, whatever the hatred that is being spewed and taught to them. That's another reason why y'all got to pay attention to when y'all around here with these soul ties and these connections and these generational curses. Y'all need to make sure that y'all are steadfast praying for your minds and your children. I understand when they get grown, teenagers, even young age kids, they make up, you can't say, it's not that you can't teach your child right from wrong, because I hear people say all the time, oh, you weren't raised like that. And so now we need to understand that it's not about how you're raised. It is about your environment. And because you can have the best person, the best child, best student, best whatever, that just get corrupted for a mere moment. And now you have something that has been created, that a pot that's been open, overspilling, and nobody knows how to control that particular issue. So right now we are literally facing an issue that is an outcry, where we are losing our children to the hand of children, and we have adults that are enabling these children, or allowing them, or spewing their own mentality onto these kids, and they have these mental capacities that they're actually going out shooting, harming, doing stuff. So again, like I said, we want to make sure that we are praying, giving these children somebody to talk to, something, but something has to be done. And I'm telling you, if you the anger that builds and spills, you need to speak to these children. Some of these children that are actually victims, because we always speak about, oh, well, there was such and such injured. Yes, but on top of that, you had however many students that were there that were victims because they was put into a situation where they were not in control of that situation. So now they are a victim. So you have to look about not just the ones that was injured, not just the ones that lost their life, but all those children as a whole. It needs to be something that needs to be taken in totality for the whole situation, not just about certain people. Because as you see, this is spreading out amongst schools and other schools. Um, and again, praying for the mindset of our children. Like we got to, because like the news is newsing. For real, it's I'm steady getting stuff. I don't understand. I mean, I know
And
like
the world is it's a world that we. I mean, if we don't teach them and get them to learn, it's gonna go go down from here. It's gonna get worse. You know, like Auntie said, we could send our condolences to everybody that lost a loved one in tragic times, and send our condolences and our prayers to those who are injured and everything. I was also telling them about the other school shooting, that had happened where the little boy, took the gun to school, and I think he had went in the bathroom and killed the boy.
right the good. So that's what I was saying. We've had a lot and I'm saying it's a lot. It's not. It's no more. Are we just saying that oh, it's a random or it's something like that? We are literally having school shootings in mass. And I even, remember I asked y'all, like, do you remember stuff like this going on? I remember when I was in elementary school and coming in school, the most problems that we had was a non-custodial parent coming to the school to get his child or her child when they weren't supposed to be there. That was like the biggest things that we had. Um, so as far as like these school shootings, I understand that we was taught about them, but to actually have to live through them and I mean, you have adults that don't even want to go to war. Let's just think about that. You're in a place where people tell you that they're gonna draft you to make you go and fight into a war. Then you have children that go out and choose to be a part of gangs, or they or for whatever reasons may not choose or are selected to be a part of gangs. You have children that go and get into cliques. And all of this stuff takes place. And then you have children that don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? They have another man. But we're taking children as a whole and giving them one mindset and telling them this is what they need to be prepared. There is no reason why our children should be preparing for war in a classroom. Y'all got to make it make sense. Like for real, for real. There's no reason why our children should have to prepare for war. And if for the ones that's going completely over their head, your children fight every day to go to school, into a school system. Your children wake up in the morning and are being sent to a school where they are supposed to be going to get an education that is being basically swiped away from them, where somebody's picking and choosing what they want these children to learn. And in the midst of doing so and learning this stuff, nobody is teaching these children, because the topics and the stuff that we need to know about, they don't want us to know about that stuff. They pulling stuff out of schools, whatever situations that we went through. Okay, that's fine. But at what point do we get to a place where somebody put their foot down and say, listen, if this is what takes place, this is what's going to happen. The world speaks so much on how people respond to things. Well, it's time for people to start responding. Everybody keep talking about, well, this is an election year. I'm not being funny. Fuck that. Every day should be treated like it's an election something. Every day somebody should be actually focused on what's going on in the school systems. It's even worse that you have so many programs that are going out here being funded, and they are stealing the money from what they are supposed to be done. The funds that are being allocated to other things and not being given towards the children. And then you sit back and try to figure out what's going on. You don't talk to your kids. You don't talk to the children. You sit there. You want to blame them for everything. We're not going to blame the fact that it's an adult that's influencing the behaviors that are taking place around them. We're not going to talk about the environments that these children was being raised in. For this little boy, what's his name? Kobe. the young man, Corey. So I think that's what his name is. Let me see. Right. So with him, this young man was literally placed in an environment with somebody that was supposed to be an adult figure that was supposed to be responsible for the mindset of this young man. At 14 years old, this young man made his first kill on a deer. He was excited. That's been about a year ago. So in that, and it just says, so in brief, we're gonna just do a summarize of this young man. What was it? So he's faced Colt. That's his name. Colt, Colt. So him and the father are both facing felony charges, but it says that Colt smuggled an AR-15 style rifle into the school in his backpack and hid it in a bathroom after leaving class. So, I mean, it's kind of, you get lost. I'm trying to get to where it's at with the father because, like, again, I want to send my condolences to Richard Aspinwall and 53-year-old Christina Irimi, and the two students Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Anglo, which were both 14 years old. Those are the two young men that were killed. So we want to send our prayers, and there was 9 others that were injured. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's insane. It's ridiculous that parents or guardians or adults, and what does it say happened at school? Father question. That's not what I want. I want to get down to this. I have to find it. You already know I've been having one of them days, so it's been like everything is prepared, not prepared. But I mean, and for those listening, if you have children or, you know what I'm saying, you have grandkids, if you work in the school system, whatever, how do you feel that things should be handled in situations like this? I know that they say the kids had just started back returning to school Tuesday. The kids were going back. Let me see. And like, okay, so this is the problem. So it says the defendant has been charged in connection with the murder and shooting of several members of the community at a local high school. It is not an unreasonable statement to declare that nearly every resident of this community has been touched and affected in some way by this event. The motion reads in part. Attorneys for Colin also argue that due to national media attention, their client has received an incalculable number of threats. The motion suggests that while there is no known threat, there is a possibility of retaliatory violence. There is no word on when a hearing or ruling on motion will be made. Now, listen, let me tell you something. So the motion to have Colin separated from the general population is what they're fighting for. This is what they want. Now, listen, let's have this conversation and then we'll move on to the other school shootings that we had. But this is why they got to make it make sense. So what you're telling me is that he went into a school, he went to shoot up a school, he killed people, took people's life. Now y'all want somebody to have sympathy on him? Y'all want somebody to go and say, oh, because everybody know that what he did is not going to be fair to him in a system. Neither was it fair for him to corner children in there like they was trapped inside of a cage and start to open fire on these children. Nobody was there to come between and step in between this man and the AR-15 that was finna end some children's lives. Now y'all want somebody to be sympathetic towards him because he's how old? He had an adult mindset when he went in there. And that's what we speak on. These children are lost because we done y'all. I'm not gonna say we. I'm gonna take that back. Nah, I ain't saying we. We ain't did shit. Y'all raising these kids. Y'all raising them for real. Y'all don't want nobody to say nothing to them. Y'all want to teach them all this crazy stuff. Y'all want to have them in the house, and this ain't nobody telling you not to teach your child to defend themselves. Ain't nobody telling you that your child should allow anybody to bully them. Nobody is teaching them, but I'm telling y'all right now, as adults, y'all need to start taking accountability. Hold on, Walter just wrote in. He said, not sure if you read yet, but his mother has 5 charges of meth and was supposedly tripping when she called the school, and that's why they messed up as she calls the school. See, thank you, Walter. See, I ain't got that part, but I'm finna get to it. That's what I'm saying. It's so much stuff going on with this case, and I ain't gonna lie. Looking at her, but I ain't gonna make no judgment calls when it comes to nobody. I ain't judging nobody. But again, and see that right there, that's still an issue. She on mess, so now you calling in, people is confused, you giving out, and I can believe that because right now she was trying to come up with an excuse for him. So she would, and children, listen. I ain't finna lie to you. I'm not that parent. I'm not sugarcoating when you wrong. I'm not. I'm gonna be there for you. We gonna stand there, but you gonna have to be responsible. You got to be accountable and responsible for your actions.
Yeah.
You have to be. I got a son right now. Lord knows. Show out sitting right there next to you. He's still here. He hear the phone calls. My baby 23 years old. My baby is in prison and doing an 8-year bid because he didn't want to listen, because he wanted to pick up a weapon, because he wanted to do what other stuff. Was my child taught? Yes, he was taught right. So I'm not going to sit there and bear the burden of saying, oh, this is what happened, because my child know better. I'm his mama. Y'all know who Auntie. Listen, he can't do nothing but no right. But it come a time they got to make their own decisions, and when they make their own decisions, they have to be able to be accountable for those decisions. It ain't okay, I'm sorry that because sorry don't take away death. Sorry don't take away a lot of that stuff that's going on. And if the mother, who Lord, this baby was. And that's the thing. And then at what point and how far do we look back into the emotional damage with this child and say, you know what I'm saying, that because even still, there's nothing that does not make him take responsibility for his actions. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I don't care. Nothing. 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 And there are some children that can be reformed, and then there are some children that, you know what I'm saying, the system is going to have to be actively a part of their life. As we can see that this child was fed by the father, and he encouraged the behaviors that went on, because you're not going to tell me that with this relationship, the way they got going on and how they responded, that this father wasn't aware of the actions of his child, not so much as him actually going in there shooting, but I'm pretty sure this child had, because they said they found notes or letters and stuff in the house. So it wasn't like this was something that he just woke up that morning, went into school and started shooting. This was something that he had done planned prior to. And children need to understand that, because we have, and I'm going to go into the other calls, the other shootings that we had over the last week. But again, that goes to accountability. Like I know we here in Tampa, we had people that feel that it's okay to even call in and threaten a school shooting, to, you know what I'm saying, making it feel like mass chaos, whatever that is, a day out of school, whatever that stuff they got going on, causing pandemonium, is insane, and they should be held accountable for that. If we start holding people accountable, not tapping them on their hand, not talking about the gentle parents and not doing all that stuff, a lot of this stuff will stop. If we literally stop feeding into the bullshit that they are feeding us, if we literally stop sitting around here pretending like the stuff is okay that is going on, or if the child says something, oh, that's abuse. Absolutely not. It is not. It's not. Stop making people feel like chastising and getting on their children for the stuff that they got going on is an issue. But in doing so, that means that the adults need to be held accountable. I was saying, and I thought about it, like we sit here, we be having all these, the conversations we talk about, that we had a conversation and we sit and we talk about the different things that parents and stuff do. But parents, teachers, anybody that's put in those positions that have an effect over a child, me, myself included, If you around here and you are what is it, shaping these children, shaping their mind, feeding into their minds, whatever they got going on, you need to be paying attention around your surroundings. You need to know what's going on, because these shootings is unacceptable and it's insane. You said, and then you said the shooting for, hold on, because it pulled up the other one. Which shooting?
It was the one with the 16-year-old
Okay, they just sent
shooting.
me. All right, they just sent me I just got an update as you was talking. All right, so well, this article was written by Jay Wagmester, and it is actually coming from the FloridaPhoenix.com, which is a newspaper. So it says that amid a spate of school shooting threats less than a month into a new school year, Florida school districts are reminding students and communities of the danger and potential long-term consequences of making even hoax threats. So before we get into the other shooting, we want the children to know that if you feeling like you finna call in a school threat that you think is funny, it's not. Polk County Grady Judd, y'all know Grady. We don't play with Grady in Florida. You don't play with him. If you don't want to play, you don't play with Grady. So Grady told us that he says that it's sad, but do you know what many of these students told us? They were just joking. Well, they weren't laughing when they were put into handcuffs. Arrested for serious felony charges, I'm here to tell you that we take all threats of violence very seriously, and joking is not an excuse that works. Social media is everywhere. It's easier than ever to find yourself making careless comments that you will later regret, Polk Superintendent Fred Heed said, or you might feel pressured to join the latest challenge or social media and cause damage to a school or personal property. Unfortunately, you will have set into motion far-ranging consequences. Saying you're sorry won't make this issue go away. Threats have led to the arrest. Okay, so now we finna get into some arrests that have been made, and we're gonna go back to that shooting before we it says threats have been led to the arrest of young Floridians, including an 11-year-old girl who threatened to carry out a school shooting in a social media post Wednesday, according to St. Lucie County. WPTV reported that the school did not enter a lockdown and the threat was not found to be credible. However, the girl will face severe disciplinary consequences, Sheriff Keith Pearson said. Spectrum News reported Wednesday that at Lake Brantley High School, students were found with an unloaded gun inside the Seminole County School. The student was taken into custody. The student acquired the gun by stealing it, Spectrum reported. Since August 1st, 9 people have been arrested in Duval County for making school threats. Duval County School Superintendent Christopher Bernier called upon parents warn their children against rash or joking threats. Parents, we need you to have a difficult conversation with your children. There are certain things you should never say in an airport as you approach security, which makes plenty of sense because you wouldn't yell at a thing. Similarly, you should never write or state a threat to harm a school student or a person in our community. If that happens, this community will use every tool it has to address it. 2 14-year-old students were arrested this week for making threats toward Northport High School in the Sarasota School District. These events disrupt the learning environment. They waste valuable resources, create unnecessary fear and anxiety. So as we see, this has become a trend. I'm not sure if this is some TikTok mess that y'all like to go up there and do, but I don't know if y'all be paying attention when y'all go down a little bit further with them TikTok trends. It'd be a lot of y'all that lose y'all lives or end up in the hospital because stupid games get stupid prizes. Like for real. And if y'all believe in the mess about, I'm a child, they're not gonna do this to me, or this is not gonna, it will. If you are part of the mess, and I'm gonna tell you, y'all know Auntie is very, very big on that no snitch policy, no baby, loyalty over everything. And I'm gonna tell you, you can't tell me that you are no snitch, but you also loyal, because it don't work together, it don't go hand in hand. So you have to make it make sense. If you are around children that are doing any of these things, putting on these challenges, going to these schools, talking about they finna shoot up. If you know your friend got mental issues, if he dealing with depression and they feel like they're being bullied, you need to tell somebody. Let somebody know that this child feels like they are being bullied and they feeling some type of way. Because that's another reason why we do have school shootings and stuff that goes on in these schools, because children feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. Not talk at, somebody to talk to. It's sad. I know here personally, in Tampa, we had, I think it was 4 that we talked about earlier today that was arrested for calling in school threats. Let me go back to.
Yeah, I put up a lot of them. It's a lot of them
Oh yeah, it's a
here.
lot, and it's even more coming in now. They telling us that the teen accused in the Georgia shooting actually went to school. He rode the school bus with the rifle with him that morning to take it to school.
Wow.
So should we put you know what I'm saying? Should we gun what is it? The alarms, metal detectors in the bathrooms now?
Something they need to do something because I mean we already got it we got something for the streets. You know, if you shoot somebody or you have a gun in the area, they got this type of thing where they can know that it's a shooting in the area or somebody
Oh,
discharged it.
we have those in Tampa. You know, they have
Right.
those that can separate. I forgot what it's called, but it separates the sound of a gunshot and whatever else it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Those
we
things.
do.
Metal detectors in school. I mean, back in the days that they was implicating that they was going to start doing that, where you have to go through schools with a metal detector because there was a lot of, depending on the area, if it was a area that was, you know, known for shootings and crime, they assured that the students weren't coming to school with, you know, weapons and stuff like that. That was back in the days, but I know after a while and time progressed, that those things were not implicated and those things fell off the boards list.
I'ma just like, okay, so what you saying? So the headlines, and if you can see this, I'm gonna show you. If y'all can just see my screen, hold on. If you can literally see this screen, and I want y'all to just see and see me stroll up. The saddest part about these right here, all these that I have listed, it says, and I'm gonna go down the line of these, and I'm gonna say the date and the time that these was posted. School shooting threats break out in Florida. District shares issue warning 40 minutes ago. Florida school shut down after student was found with gun 5 hours ago. Florida schools on edge after alleged school shooting. So that was 3 days ago. Of course, we understand that. Bay's district school officials reassure parents following the school shootings. 4 days ago, 13-year-old student arrested for threatening school shooting in Central Florida. 15-year-old Central Florida student arrested for making online school threats 4 days ago. 16-year-old Central Florida student arrested for threatening mass school shooting 4 days ago. But we'll have a whole slew of parents saying my child ain't do that. That ain't my child. I don't know where they get that from. This ain't no coincidence. Y'all need to do better, parents. Y'all need to do better. I know we be sitting up here discussing all this stuff about dating techniques and all the stuff and the mental health, and we talk about all the good stuff that for the parents. But I'm telling y'all, parents, listen, everything leads back to your children if y'all ain't paid attention. If you ain't paid attention to make it make sense for Auntie is trying to get you right so that you can be an effective parent and effectively communicate with your children and with others. Until I can get on the issue about my kids, and that's what I'm calling them my kids, because y'all know Auntie love the kids, so those are my babies. Until we can actually get to a space where y'all can go in there and have them relationships with y'all children that y'all want, me included, because I have a toxic relationship with my daughter that I am working so hard on. And listen, sometimes you have to just agree, disagree, put it in God's hands, and make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, this is a problem and it's something that's going on. I'm trying to reach the parents. I want to reach the children. It's crazy that I talk to so many children that actually are in a space where they can actually open. You know what? I'm going to say it like this. There are more children out there that are wanting and warranting counseling services to get better than there are adults. And it's sad because you have the children that want to learn, they want to be better, they want to do that, but you have so many adults that are in there stuck in these places that, oh, this is, you know what I'm saying, I'm the parent, I'm right, I'm this, whatever, that they can't even have that conversation with their kids. You can't even open the door for the conversation with your children. You don't have, or a lot of y'all don't have authority to even talk to your children because you've never actually been there for your children. And I'm speaking to the ones that's in the household. because we love to call out, the single daddy, the daddy that's not there, the mama that's not there, but we're going to talk about the active parents that's actively inside the house that are breeding these children, that are going out amongst the rest of the children, that are causing chaos. We got to make it make sense.
Got to
make it make sense. And then the school shooting in the bathroom. Right here. All right. So we're gonna go to Maryland. And that's the Maryland school shooting. 15-year-old shot by fellow student during bathroom dispute at Jopatown High School. The 15-year-old was shot and killed in the high school bathroom. A 16-year-old is in custody, and that was 4 days ago. Again, on the day that this shooting took place in Georgia, there was a call that went into the school that said that there were going to be 5 school shootings that day, and the first one was going to be at Appalachia. So they're telling us what they're going to do, and these children are actively doing it. So with this one here, the victim was identified as 15-year-old Warren Curtis Grant. So condolences going out to his family, and prayers. You know, this is sad that we have to send out prayers and condolences to our children. The incident occurred at Jopatown High School in Jopa, Maryland on Friday, September the 6th. Hartford County Sheriff Jeff Gaylor said at a news conference the shooting took place in a first-floor men's bathroom. After the initial shooting, the suspect left the bathroom and left the school. Other individuals in the school brought the victim out into the hallway where he was immediately attended to by the nurses as part of the public school system. Within the first 2 minutes, we had our response deputy on the scene. Gaylor continued, within 15 minutes, more than 100 police officers were here from all of our local partnering agencies. All right, so that's the second shooting. The 15-year-old was airlifted to a trauma center in serious condition. The suspect, a 16-year-old student who was believed to have fired a single shot, was apprehended within minutes after fleeing a short distance away. Gaylor noted that it was the suspect's first day at the school, although the district is 4 days into the school year. He said that authorities are not allowed to talk to the suspect, but have sufficient information that he will be charged in association with the shooting without the need to be interviewed. Overwhelming evidence, if you will, but again, that investigation is ongoing. Please be advised it's an isolated incident, not an active shooter. Avoid the areas. The reunification center for parents to pick up their children is good. Okay, and again, it says during a second news conference held later on Friday, Gaylor, Gaylor confirmed that the 15-year-old identified as Warren Curtis Grant did pass away. The family was just notified within the last half hour at the hospital. Gaylor confirmed that the suspect has yet to be charged, but will be charged. And again, that's horrible. It's sad. It's so sad that we in a space where we are literally saying our condolences. And I remember a couple years ago, we was just discussing, we were talking about how we was losing our children to, they was being killed by officers. And then, you had the gang shootings and the stuff that was going on in the neighborhoods and in the communities. And then in the last couple of years since COVID hit, I'm not going to lie, COVID hit, then we started experiencing children losing their lives at monstrous numbers. People losing their lives, becoming victims to whatever the reasons, whatever mentality took on during COVID, whatever that was released into the world that has triggered our mindsets that this is, that this is where we need to be. Calamity is what we're looking for in this world. It is not getting better. Regardless if they want to call it the Bible Day, whatever they want to, relate it to, whatever they want to say, we got to understand that we are living in a problem. Y'all worried about being drafted for a war when you got to fight in the streets to get through your house. You got to fight in the streets to get to your car. You got to go and fight people in your own home, which leads me to another one before we leave out of here because it's 5:45. And we just finished up with the shooting in the bathroom. The young man in Jopatown, Maryland that you was discussing. the 15-year-old, the 16-year-old that murdered the 15-year-old in school, is it's sad, that you can't wake up in the morning times. You no longer have to worry about if your child gonna have a good day, but now you have to worry about if your child gonna come home safe back to you just from going to school. Not that your child is a problem child, not that your child go out there and get in trouble, but your child just actually decided they're gonna go to school and learn today, and somebody else decided that that's not what's gonna happen. It's so sad that we are living in a day and age where people make that to be like that's okay. It's not. I am a grandmother to grandchildren. I'm an auntie to many. Yeah, the world calls me auntie, but there are actual little human beings that run this world that actually look up to me, that have blood flowing through their veins, that are actually my nieces and nephews, my cousins, family members, and it's very, very sad. On top of that, I come from a family of teachers. You know what I'm saying? I literally come from a family of teachers where I have my auntie, which I love dearly, my cousins, which I love them dearly, that actually work in the school system here. And it's sad that, you know what I'm saying, you send your children to school. I send my auntie and them off to school to have to worry about if a person is going to come home and return home from their job. They're not going to war, baby. They're going to education. And they can't even go there and make it back safe. When are we gonna be safe? When is anybody gonna make it make sense? They holler about election year, election year, election year, but what are we electing? What is it? What is it for? Y'all talking about fighting for the rights of the woman, bitch. What about the kids? Who fighting for the children, baby, for real? Who gonna be here for y'all to talk to in the next 20, 30 years? The robots that they creating? Who really gonna stand in the paint for the kids? Like who is it that these children actually have? And I'm not gonna just sit here and knock the kids, because I see some wonderful, beautiful children that are coming up out of the mess, and that they tell you that it ain't always bad. Stuff happens for whatever reasons, but we got to get to a space where it is, where we can have these conversations open. That's what Auntie for. That's why Auntie finna start going around. I'm gonna tell you right now. It is time for me to start having these conversations at the schools. So if you do have a school and your school is willing, and they would like to have a teen summit, y'all can contact Auntie, because that is something that we really need to go in and we need to discuss, and we need to have these conversations. We need to get in place. We need to stop talking about it and actually be more about it. Because I remember that it was when you was PTA moms and all that stuff that was going on, classroom moms and all that stuff going on. We don't even much talk about that. And we wonder why our children are the way they are. It's because they don't have the love and the compassion that we had when we was coming up. Yes, we caught hell, but we got it together. We actually had it. We got it. We learned it. Now we've been to a place where a lot of people don't want to take accountability and accept that, or you want to sit there and say, oh, that was bad, or it was abusive, or it was toxic. Yes, but it kept us alive. One thing we ain't never got to talk about is that how many of us was knocked off and killed, or how many of us lost our lives when it was in a short time frame. Yeah, we lost some people, but we are losing our children in masses. We're losing them all in one. It's not like, oh, you just lost this person. You're losing 3 and 4 and 5 of them at one time. That also speaks to the parents that, like I say, parents is y'all got to have more accountability when it comes to certain stuff. I know time winding down, but even the situation with us losing these children, that we're still losing children to being left inside of cars.
So those times was over with. So people learned.
No, ain't nobody learned. I read a case and I can't find where I put it at. And I need to find it, where there was a young man who his baby died in the car while he was inside the house playing a video game. Bruh came home from the store, the baby was in the car asleep. He went in the house, left her in the car asleep with the car running because the AC was running. He decided, oh, she's still sleeping. I'm going to go in there and just jump on my game right quick. I'll go back out there and check on her. She'll be woke. Oh, boy did not get up for another 4 hours playing his video game. And then he remembered that the car automatically cuts off after 30 minutes of constant running, which means there's a whole 3.5 additional hours that this child was in the car cooking. Can you imagine what a mother's look like when she walks home from coming home from work and she is greeted with her child strapped down in the back seat of a car unalive because somebody wanted to play a video game? And then even then, it ain't even the video game. It's the fact that the baby, and Lord knows I cried when I heard it, that this mother said that she had done told him multiple times about leaving this child in the car. So it wasn't a first time occurrence. It was multiple times. So his ass needs to go. Since video games are a distraction, he need to be somewhere where video games don't distract.
They're gonna give him a video game to play with.
And then there was another incident where the parents love a set of twins. So not only are you losing one child, you are losing two children. Here we go right here. Twins died in hot car incident. This was 3 days ago. And this is coming from the people. This actual article is from People, but you can go and read it on People, USA Today, wherever. Oklahoma twins, two-year-old twins, found dead in a hot car after a caretaker allegedly forgets to drop them off. Explain that to me. You got one job. You the caregiver. What the hell were you doing that you forgot a whole transaction of dropping the damn children off to daycare? You got one job. It says who were found, the 2-year-old twins were found dead in a car after the caretaker reportedly forgot to drop them off at a daycare last week. Local K4 KFOR reported that officers performing a welfare check discovered the 2-year-old twins, Ariel and Avery, unresponsive in a car that stopped on a street in a neighborhood outside Norman, Oklahoma. Marshall Suter, the girl's father, spoke to KFOR and said a trusted family member was supposed to drop the children off but forgot. They were the best girls the world has ever seen. It honestly hurts because the girls were so deeply loved and cared for. KFOR reported that another family member said the incident was truly tragic and has been very hard on the family. I hope this will at least show people that it wasn't intentional and truly an accident. This family would just like some peace in this difficult and heavy time. A GoFundMe has been established. Okay, so listen. Accident? No accident. Two kids. Two children. What were you doing that you forgot that you had picked up these two children that had to be dropped off? Make it make sense.
Distracted on that phone. How old she was?
2. Who was?
The driver.
It didn't say. It just said that a family friend.
Sometimes you gotta make sure you. And they thought they had dropped the kid off the daycare. That's crazy.
It was a set of twins that they were supposed to drop off. So this is what I don't understand, because it's a whole process that goes with daycare. That's why I can't grasp it when people tell me that, oh, that's what happened. Because I worked in a daycare center, I worked in schools. So when you go into a daycare center, you have to actually get out of your car, pick the child up out your car, take them out the car seat, walk them inside of the school, drop them off, and sign them in. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're down to the last 5 minutes. Y'all make sure. Okay, so in this right here, y'all make sure y'all contact our Pedro Romero if you can. Y'all send him love wishes. He is currently in the hospital. He is preparing for surgery. He did get some information, some stuff that we praying for him, and we pray that he comes out of here with a safe and speedy recovery. Y'all make sure that y'all reach out to the HS Soap Company for all of your skincare needs. If you are dealing with HS, you most definitely want to reach out. I am currently been going through this breakout for the last Oh.
That soap been helping Auntie out, y'all. I'm here to witness it. It has been helping.
Like
So
literally,
Pedro,
that soap is a
uh,
miracle lifesaver. And if you need to clean up, because I know some of y'all house gonna be clean and some of y'all just ain't clean enough, y'all go ahead and reach out to AR Excellent Cleaning. Y'all holler at Miss Ariana, get over there, get that house clean so we don't have no issues. That go for y'all, especially the ones that's dealing with some of these DCF cases and stuff that y'all got going on. They talking about your homekeeping. Call Miss AR, call AR Excellent Cleaning. Get them over there, get your house together, your business, do whatever you got to do, call her. She is local, and we want to make sure we promote them. We're going to try to get some more sponsors and promoters that's up here. I do have one young man that I'm excited. I just told you. He done reached out. I've been watching some of the stuff that he do. He is our podcast host. So we're going to see if we can get him on the show. I want to make sure that y'all stay tuned in for the next, well, always every Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all tune in because y'all have the excellent Thursdays lined up on BFAM. Of course, we have Mr. Zoe coming in from 7 to 9. And then we have Mr. DC at 9:30. So y'all make sure y'all always stay tuned in to BFAM, especially on Thursdays with BFAM 109.6. And Mr. Show out before we leave here, what you got going on?
first and foremost, I want to say my condolences to Rich Homie Quan and his, people, as well as James Earl Jones and Freddie Jackson, ain't it?
Who?
Freddie, Frank Ocean,
Frank,
Freddie Jackson.
Frankie Beverly.
Yeah, Frankie Beverly. I don't
Who
know
you
what
call
happened
that
with him.
man?
Y'all
Lord,
better know.
I
I've
don't
been
know
listening
who
to
you
it
call that
all.
man, sir. But that's not that man's
I'm,
name,
I'm,
sir.
I'm, Thank you, definitely. Our prayers go out to him. I want to send but like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm helping Auntie with a webinar, doing the cartoons, and helping with the cover, trying to get some things going. Yeah, be sure to check out Smooth Transitions on every social media platform. That's Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm finna come out my Redbubble t-shirt shop, as well as my T Public t-shirt shop, as well as the Launch Cart t-shirt shop. So y'all gonna have all ways to get my t-shirts, my designs. If you have some custom designs, hit me up, hit Auntie up. Let us know what we can do for y'all for this, any apparel, fitness, marketing, brand marketing. That's what we on. Auntie, you
Right.
take over.
All right, and you already know. Make sure y'all tune in every Thursday to Make It Make Sense with Auntie. Be found 109.6, and we will see you next week. Because Auntie just got a lot going on. And shout out to my
I know.
school. Right, shout out to my school that